Do apartment buyers care if our building has a reserve fund?
Most buyers do ask what the level of the reserve fund is. What they don't ask is what's the capital budget over the next 5 years, and is that reserve fund enough to cover those capital costs?
There are different reserves. First of all, there's an operating reserve in which you should have probably 1.5 to 2 months monthly payments worth. But that's an operating reserve. It's operating money. It's not reserve fund. And at this point, because interest rates are so very, very low, it doesn't make sense for a building to have a substantial portion of money just parked in a bank or other investment vehicle that's safe.
Reserve funds, typical of most of the financials for any building, are important when people are doing the due diligence. They want to see a building that has significant wherewithal to be able to deal with their issues. They want to make sure that the operating budget is cash positive, and by cash positive I'm not looking to be, General Motors making a lot of money, just that you're not hemorrhaging money over the course of a year. And in reserve, you want to have, on the average, buildings will say, oh, we want to have 2 to 3 months reserve of maintenance, common charges, depending on what the level of those maintenance and common charges are.
Reserve funds should be used for 2 reasons. One for safety and one for capital improvement. On the safety side, which is the minimum amount that should be kept in the reserve fund, I would recommend to any building at least 3 months worth of operating costs, 6 months preferably.
What most of the buildings have now is they have lines of credit. When you refinance your underlying mortgage, you typically get a credit line to go along with it of whatever amount. And typically buyers are happy to see that, first of all, your operations are balanced, and secondly, that you have funds available to you through typically a line of credit.
That being said, there are other factors that go into what you want to have in a reserve fund. If a building is facing a certain amount of capital repairs, boiler replacement, elevator replacement, roof work, facade work, whatever, you would want to show a greater reserve or a greater stockpile of cash to be able to show the potential buyer that this is already been addressed, it's already been calculated, and most, if not all, has been addressed in that regard. A building that is facing similar capital work with an insignificant reserve fund is going to have a questionable look when somebody's doing their due diligence.